and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here tonight, guys, where Barca have returned emphatically from the international break. We have gotten a really important win here in the title race against Osasuna by 3-0. And I thought tonight we saw Barca at full flow. You know, some of the football, some of the individual displays out there were absolutely fantastic. And not only that, but also the players who came on. You know, we saw lots of minutes here tonight for players who desperately needed it, including a brilliant and dazzling display from Pablo Torre. It is all on the way. Let's talk all about it, and let's celebrate Barca's return. Come on, and let's do it. Because indeed, guys, in terms of the league table, this right here is exactly what it means. And I think it's a really important win, you know, psychologically here in the title race. Because obviously Barca weren't too keen on playing this game tonight. They didn't want to play here right at the beginning, really, of the return from the international break. But now they have, you know, now we've won. We've put ourselves back up there. We've put that gap again between us and the rest. And no longer are we playing catch-up. No longer are we one game behind. We are right there, 3 points ahead of Real. A massive 7 points ahead of Atleti. And that's where we need to be. And that is where we need to stay. And I was impressed as well with Hansi Flick's starting lineup here tonight, because what he didn't do was risk anyone. You know, he didn't play Rafinha, didn't play Ronald Araujo. We knew that he wasn't going to take that kind of risk. The defence, though, was still very, very solid. The midfield tonight was really good, in my opinion there. Pedri, of course, he's always purring. He's always absolutely brilliant there in possession of the ball. Frankie played really well as well. And I thought it was a good performance, and a much-needed one, too, from Gavi as well. We're going to be talking about that. Yamal, of course, started. Ferran really took his chance, and Dani Olmo, unfortunately, could not complete there even the first half. We're also going to come on to talk about that. But hey, let's start with the first goal here, because again, it's good play, it's good quick football there, nice circulation in midfield. Frankie de Jong starts the move, plays it out to Balde, and what a ball in from Alejandro Balde. Absolutely brilliant cross there into Ferran, and Balde right throughout this game, really sharp, really electric on that left side. Some outstanding dribbles from him tonight there. And Ferran, he's just doing what you need him to do. Every single time that he's involved, you know, you put him in this team, you bring him off the bench. You saw that against Atleti. You put him in the starting lineup tonight. He's delivering. And I'm absolutely delighted here to see Ferran. He's just doing what he can do. You know he's got ability. You know that he can finish chances in front of goal. And he is doing that right now. Yet another goal for him. The opening goal in the game. Really important one to calm any nerves, to settle us down. And it was a vital moment there to take the lead in this game. And then, well, Pedri opened up Osasuna. Simple as that. And he did that so many times tonight. You know, weaving his way through. Absolutely magic there. Ball over the top it was. Into Dani Olmo. In behind. Olmo does well. He gets to the ball first. He gets himself in between the ball and the goalkeeper. It's a clear penalty. Now, of course, from that penalty kick, it was actually saved by the keeper. And it was a really good save as well. You know, he gets a really, really good hand to it. But that penalty had to be retaken. And lots of people here quite confused, really. You know, why was it retaken? Why are we helping Barca? Why are the refs helping them always? It's not the case. Yet again, the rules are clear and simple. There's clear encroachment. And I'm so glad this was given here. The players moving into the box before the penalty was taken. Now, this is something that's not always given, but it should be. It's a clear and obvious thing there to see that happen, and the penalty must be retaken. And credit there to Dani Olmo. He doesn't change his mind. He doesn't overthink it. He just slams it into the bottom left-hand corner. A really nice taken penalty, give Barca a 2-0 lead, but then he goes down with an injury, you know, just minutes after that there. And that is the story, really, for me, of Dani Olmo's season so far. You know, he gets some momentum. He's playing really well. He's full of confidence. Gets himself a goal here tonight, playing very, very good football. And then he's down injured. And again, it's something quite innocuous. You know, there wasn't a big collision. It was nothing really like that. Looks like a muscle problem. Now, hopefully, what we're hearing so far is that it shouldn't be serious. That's what we're really, really hoping here. We got massive games, of course, to come. We want Olmo to be available, but that was one of the really down moments from tonight. Olmo going down, had to be replaced there by Fermin Lopez, who, by the way, came on, though, and did absolutely brilliantly. Before half-time, Ferran Torres smacked one against the bar from a free kick with blood actually coming out of his mouth. You know, he'd really been in the wards. He was really going all out in that first half of Barca, and very nearly scored there from a free kick. That would have been an absolutely wonderful goal. But then, guys, At half-time, something magical happened. We spoke in the international break about the fact there are players in this Barca team who are waiting for that chance, waiting for that opportunity. Flick has been, trying to give them something tonight, I feel, because Pablo Torre came on at half-time, and boy, did he take his opportunity. That's what I'm delighted with here. Not only did he get minutes, not only did he get a chance, he snatched it with both hands. This is what he can do. As soon as he came on, he has a shot at goal. He is so positive. He's so really good there at going forward and making something happen. And he did it all night. There was some fantastic balls in behind there. He's always got his head up. He's always looking forward. He will make that aggressive, that brave approach there in the final third. And he was absolutely fantastic, I feel, in his time on the field there. And also good to see Frenkie de Jong getting some rest. And what we saw then in midfield, guys, and we should highlight this, it was Pedri alongside Gavi in those deeper areas, and this is something I think we're going to see a lot more of in the weeks to come. We're going to have to see it, because of course, remember now, we don't have Marc Gasardo, so without him there, without some additional cover in that area, we are going to see more of Gavi from that deeper area alongside Pedri doing some really good work. And like I say, I think he was a lot better tonight, Gavi, a much better display from him, much more like we're used to really from him. We know he's got the quality, absolutely no doubt about that. And then on 66 minutes, Ferran Torres was actually subbed off. He'd done his night's work. He did an absolutely fantastic job for the team. Lewandowski comes on in his place. And Lewandowski, he is desperate to score. Every time he comes on, every time he's out there, he's thinking, okay, how can I score? And he does. And the man that starts the move, it's Pablo Torre, and it's a wonderful ball. It's an absolutely brilliant ball over the top there, picking out Fermin, kicking off a real counter-attack, and from there, it's magic from Barca. Everything is inch perfect from that moment there. Fermin exploding into the space there, really going at Osasuna, and the cross in, it's beautiful because it goes just over, really marginally over the defender's head, perfectly into the path of Lewandowski, who powers it home there from close range. He gets his goal. Barca 3-0 up against Osasuna, and then just to add a few more minutes here for players coming on, Gerard Martin came on, Pau Victor got 10 minutes or so, which is really important. Could have had a goal as well. Big chance he had in front of goal. Could have made it an absolutely perfect day. But I think what you have to say right here is we know the circumstances tonight for Barca. They were not ideal. Missing key players, especially there's somebody like Rafinha, who's been so instrumental. But again, before the game, like I said, Flick wasn't moaning, Flick wasn't complaining, Flick wasn't making excuses about this game. He said, okay, we're going to get on with it, we're going to pick our team, we're going to play this game accordingly, and that's exactly the kind of attitude that we came out here tonight with. It was positive, it was bold, it was exciting, right from the get-go here. I think all the fans inside the stadium really enjoyed themselves tonight, because Barca played really well, really good performances right across the board, and all this does now is just fuel that fire. We are building momentum, we are building confidence every single game week, and now prepare ourselves, get excited about what is to come. There are massive matches, massive occasions for this team, and right now we can have every confidence. We're going to do it. We are going to get over the line. This train, it keeps moving on here tonight, guys. So Barca with a big win. Please let me know all of your thoughts down below. Did you enjoy the match? Who stood out for you? Who most impressed you from tonight? And especially looking at the subs there, players that came on and made a real impact. Let me know your thoughts on all of that as well, guys. Thank you indeed here for tuning in. We're going to be talking more about the game very soon indeed. Thank you for all of your support. But until next time, as always, Vejka, El Barça.